Hey there, and welcome back. You've made it to part 3 of our series on connectives. Today is all about rolling up our sleeves and putting what we've learned into practice. We're going to do a quick recap first and then jump right into some exercises to make sure all this stuff really clicks. So to get us in the zone, let's picture a pretty familiar scene. Meet Sam. He's got exams coming up, and he needs his writing to be super sharp and clear. So let's join him for a bit of a study session. All right, here's the game plan. First, we're going to pull everything together into one big handy chart. Then, right after that, we'll put it all to the test with some practice questions. Sound good? Let's kick things off with that recap. And here it is, the master chart of connectives. Let's just walk through this real quick. First up, we've got addition words, like moreover, which you use to tack on more information. Then there's contrast words, like however, for showing an opposite idea. Comparison connectives, like similarly, are for pointing out how things are alike. For explaining why something happened, you've got cause words, like because of. And to show the result, you use effect words, like therefore. To put things in order, you've got sequence connectives. Firstly, afterwards, you know the drill. To really drive a point home, you can use emphasis words, like indeed. And finally, to wrap it all up, you've got your conclusion connectives. Awesome. Keep this chart in your head because we're about to use it. Okay, recap is done. Now for the really fun part. Let's get hands-on and move from just knowing this stuff to actually using it. It is officially time to test your knowledge. All right, here's the first one. Sam worked hard. Blank, he succeeded. What word do you think connects his hard work to his success? Just think about the relationship there. See, his hard work is the cause, and his success is the cause or the effect. So we need an effect connective, and the perfect word for that is therefore. Okay, next up, Sam likes cricket. Blank, his friend prefers football. We've got two totally different preferences here, right? So what kind of word do we need to show that difference? Yup, we're showing a clear difference, a contrast between what Sam likes and what his friend likes. That calls for a contrast connective, and however is perfect for setting up that opposition. Let's try this one. We visited the museum. Blank, we went to the zoo. This one's all about the order of events, what happened first and what came next. Exactly. This sentence is all about the timeline, the sequence of events. So a sequence connective like afterwards makes it totally clear that the zoo trip came after the museum. Okay, how about this one? The movie was long. Blank, it was exciting. So we have two different qualities for the movie. One's kind of a negative, but the other's a positive. How do we link those two ideas? We're definitely contrasting two ideas, but there's a little surprise in there. A really strong contrast word for this is nevertheless. It shows that despite the fact that it was long, it was still exciting. All right, take a look at this one. Blank, exercise is necessary for health. This sounds like a final thought, doesn't it? Like a big takeaway. What word or phrase usually introduces a conclusion like that? You got it. This statement is a summary, a final point. The classic way to signal that is with a conclusion connective, and the most famous one is probably in conclusion. Okay, here's our next situation. Priya studied late. Blank, she overslept in the morning. You can see how one action led directly to the other one. So what's the missing link here? So, studying late was the cause. What was the effect? She overslept. An effect connective like as a result makes that cause and effect link totally unmistakable. Last one, you can do it. Arjun plays cricket, blank, Sam plays football. Now we've got two different people here, but they're both doing a pretty similar activity. They're playing sports. So how do we connect that similarity? Well, since we're pointing out a similarity between what Arjun and Sam are doing, we need a comparison connective. Likewise, works perfectly to show that Sam is doing a similar kind of action. Fantastic job on that practice round. So, what have we really learned today? Well, we've gone over all the connectives, for sure. But the big idea is this. With just a little practice, you'll start to remember exactly when to use each one, and your writing will be so much clearer for it. You have done an absolutely fantastic job building a solid foundation today. But we're not quite done. Are you ready to take it up a notch? In our next and final explainer, we're going to dig into the common mistakes people make and share some pro tips to make your writing even better. I'll see you there.